A martyr for a fake narrative, by the way. Police brutality, racially motivated police brutality is a myth. Okay.
Breaking news tonight and the blistering report from the Justice Department.
U.S. Attorney General Loretta Lynch said the Chicago Police Department has been violating the constitutional rights of residents for years.
A scathing new report out tonight from the Justice Department says police in Baltimore have lost the trust of the community, and they say it's because of a history of racial discrimination and how the law is enforced.
But let's get back to her monkey bullshit.
White people represent 60% of the population, and black people represent just 13% of the population. It doesn't matter what percentage of the population you represent. It matters what percentage of the violent criminal community you represent. And unfortunately, black community commits a disproportionate amount of crimes compared to the white community. Let me tell you, 6% of the population, right? Black men, 6% of the population account for 44% of all murders in this country, according to 2018 statistics. That is what you call a gap. And yet white people who represent 60% of the population, we represent 13, black men are 6%, only represent 50% of all the murders, right? That makes no sense. That makes no sense. A 6-point variation in a community where we are extreme minorities. We commit 50% of all violent offenses, evenly split, and we're only 13% of the...
She said 44. Now she's saying 50. But that is crazy. Why would that be? Why would 13% of the population be committing so many of the crimes? I don't know. Maybe there's 400 years of history behind it. 400 years of oppression, of rapes, of lynchings, of redlinings, of, Jim Crow, of all these things that would oppress a people in a way to make them a permanent part of the underground or a subclass, right? It's like we're not allowed to be legit. Now, I am a libertarian and made it on my own. I've had the privilege of having family, people to support me and be behind me, to give me examples of how to be and move forward and so on. That's a big privilege that I have, to have this huge family when most do not. They have no support system within the richest land in America. They are still carrying the scars of slavery, deconstruction, Jim Crow, and the war on drugs, not to mention the crack epidemic. All this comes just up into the 90s where they continue to build prisons. And now we have ourselves here and we're going to have this white woman tell us that there's nothing holding us back, that there is no more need there, despite the fact that you still feel the pain. You should just be able to get up.
You want to know the best way to avoid not being brutalized by a police officer is to limit the amount of encounters you need to have with them, especially when it comes to violent crimes. Okay?
The civil rights investigation found that officers in the Baltimore Police Department, BPD, routinely stop, search, and arrest African-American residents for no good reason.
These violations have deeply eroded the mutual trust between BPD and the community it serves. Trust that is essential to effective policing as well as to officer and public safety.
Over the past 5 years, police have stopped over 300,000 pedestrians in African-American neighborhoods on little or no suspicion of law breaking, often frisking them, even strip searching some in public. One man in his mid-50s was stopped 30 times but never given so much as a ticket. This man says he tried hard to avoid interacting with police.
But despite that, had at least a couple dozen instances with law enforcement that I'm pretty sure were just predicated on the fact that, I'm a young black man.
I mean, it's embarrassing. We are embarrassing in that regard, right? This is why we have a cycle and a toxic culture, because nobody wants to tell the truth in Black America. It's so easy.
No. That's a monkey bullshit. We have this toxic culture because no one wants to tell the truth in white America.
I mean, is that way too high of a mountain for us to scale, to do the right thing, to be upstanding citizens? That is the call to action that I have for Black America with Blexit. Like, why do we keep fulfilling this narrative? What do you think the perception of us, by the way, is on the outside?
Now, this part right here, this is very interesting. One, in her hatred of her own people, right? You see how angry she is about what she don't understand, right? She can't understand it again because she's not a part of the culture, and not being part of the culture, that's what has her upset. And now she's about to get into something. Let's just let you hear.
You ever look at the comments? You ever go into like an anonymous blog and see what people say? Oh, just black people being black people. I see those racist comments. Oh, just black people got to riot. Black people got to be black people. You know how they are. Oh, just black people being ignorant. That is the perception. When people get to be anonymous and talk about us, that's what they think about us, right? They think that we are the kind of people that will forever uphold criminals as the martyrs of our society, that we will never take account for the things that we do wrong, right? That we don't have it within us to educate ourselves to get ahead. And that for those of us that actually do it, well, we get called coons, right? You got kind of...
Yeah. yeah. I'm going to give you a great example of cooning. She just said that in these comments, people are giving these racist, they're saying these racist things. She just spent this whole video saying that same shit. So here, this African American woman is spouting racism and wondered why we calling her a coon. It's because you're a fucking coon.
Lisa Rice, she's a coon. Larry Elder, he's a coon. Dr. Ben Carson, brain surgeon, first ever to perform the surgery of splitting twins that are connected by the head. He's a coon, right? What a loser he is. What a stupid guy he is. Kanye West says he's not going to be told to do it because of the color of his skin. He's a coon. He's lost. He's in the sunken place. The sunken place. That's where we all are, right? Because we demand more and we will get more out of this society because we're going to get ahead, right?
Oh.
That's what's going to happen. We're going to get ahead. Black conservatives get ahead because we don't subscribe to this narrative. Because you're not going to catch me outside trying to grab a TV pretending that it's because a martyr named George Floyd got killed. Okay? I'm a big believer that no matter what color you are, you do stupid things, you win stupid prizes.
And she gets the Coon Award. Because the stupid thing, again, is to blame the victim and protect the oppressor. This is what she's doing here. She's acting as if she's a part of the black community because she keeps saying we and us when she damn sure is not. She's not demonstrating it in her knowledge and her actions and anything. And then she's wondering again why black people within the community would have a problem with a Condoleezza Rice, a Ben Carson, her, and even if I could probably a Clarence Thomas. It's because they take on the white supremacist notion that we are getting what we deserve, that we are animalistic, that we are complaining about things that aren't happening, like police brutality. That's what makes you a coon. When you use your melanin to downplay what it is that we, other people of melanin, are saying. You are put there in this position just to make white supremacists feel good. You're getting paid to down your own culture, as you say, which again is not your culture. You're just sitting here in melanin face pretending to be black. This is what makes you a coon. Nothing more.